go. Alright, folks, so we are, I think this is called Horse Pasture Road, isn't it?
Either Horse Pasture, I think it's Horse Pasture River Road.
Yeah, so this is coming out, we're leaving Jumping Off Rock. This is the second part of the video we did earlier. This is Saturday, September the... August. Oh, I'm sorry. 19th of August. And it is about 5:30, just a little past 5:30. And it's me and my wife on our 2007 V-Strom DL1000 standard suspension, running some tires that are basically 70-30 tread, which means they're 70% road, 30% highway. I would tell you what they are, but right now I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, so technical details are escaping me. But we love to ride. We ride on the highway most of the time. I love this bike. It's the second one of these I've had. This one was a little bit of a problem child when we bought it. We bought it used, and we put quite a bit of money into it to make it right, and it's still needing a clutch worked on. We're going to need a clutch basket soon. But we enjoy riding this, and we've ridden it in all kinds of weather, haven't we?
Yep.
Catching up to a little VW here that we had seen earlier.
Yeah.
Another beautiful spot there to see some long-range views. Those, I didn't ask them where they were from, but they're clearly their first time up here. He said when he met up with us at Jumping Off Rock, we had passed him on the way to the rock. He goes, kudos to you for riding on two wheels up here. I thought I was crazy bringing my Jetta. Anyway, I said, well, I told my wife, when we passed him, I said, he doesn't care much about his car. And he said, you seen those movies where they dragging Model Ts through the mud and stuff? He said, we make much better cars now than they did then. Well, yeah, I get his point, but here's one of the worst. This can be a surprise sometimes. When you're coming up this hill, you don't see this mud hole that we're looking at. And if you're not cognizant that it's there, and I forgot again today, went right through the middle of it, you can get wet. We got saturated the first time we rode up here, 2 up. Actually, I think it might be the second time we rode 2 up here. We got soaked. So we're starting to go through another little section here that can be a little more technical. I've allowed myself to get into a rut here that I got to work my way out of. And so I take it a little slower. I'm not a speed demon with my wife being on the back, especially on this size of a bike. As anybody knows who has ridden a large adventure tourer bike like this, they weigh a ton, and when you go to 2 up, you put a leg down, you're going to snap your leg off, possibly, do some real damage to yourself. So, and I generally take it easy. I go in first gear, and I get second gear when I can, but I hardly ever get out of second gear on this road, just because I'm enjoying the ride. I'm not up here to show off and be some GoPro hero that's going to end up in the hospital and think it's so cool. Anyway, nothing wrong with guys who do that kind of stuff, but, I'm an older man, almost 50, and I don't want to be in the hospital. I definitely don't want to put my wife in the hospital.
I appreciate that.
But we've, over the years, we've ridden all kinds of bikes together, and I think we like this adventure touring style about as good as anything we've ever rode together, because it allows us to do things we can't do on a standard bike tour or sport tour. We've got a concourse at home that sits in the garage. By the way, if you want a great deal on 2011 Kawasaki Concourse, look me up. It's black, ABS, 1400, analog brakes, linked braking. I mean, all those sophisticated things you'll find in those concourse bikes. Fast, super fast bike. Lots and lots of fun to ride. I enjoy riding it, but I've got real long legs, so the riding position is not real comfortable for me, and I just don't really want to modify it to fit me. I'd I know a lot of people do that. We're ready to let it go, and we're possibly ready to let this one go and maybe get us a true tour, and maybe do some cross-country touring now, since we've done the adventure touring for a while now. But we'll see. I kind of think adventure touring is always going to be part of my riding style, but finances being what they are, I can't manage to have more than one bike at a time and do that well. Stay within any kind of budget. So this is what we do for now. Hey, if you want to help me out and help yourself out, and you're looking for a home loan in North Carolina, look me up. Go to eddiesprouse.com and apply online. Or go to my website, eddiesprouse.com, and give me a call. Let's talk about it. Let me see if I can help you save some money and get into a house, or refinance your house, do some work on it, or help send your kids to college, get some equity out of the home. All kinds of things we could do for you, so I'll be glad to talk to you. Okay, end of advertising. So anyway. People probably going to go, hey man, what you advertising for? Well, it is my video, right? You don't like it, turn it off! Anyway. Oh, and by the way, Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. Amen. Might as well go ahead and offend everybody while I'm at it.
Oh, what was that?
There's a rock squeezing out behind the tire. Makes a popping sound sometimes.
I felt it.
Yeah, well, I had one pop me last time I was up here. It popped me in the foot. And
it got under the side of my foot.
Yeah, it stings.
It was wrong, but
A big one hit me last time, and it stung. I mean, I said some words that probably weren't too Christian-like. By the way, I'm gonna put in one more little advertising plug while we're at it. There's a fella, David is his name, David Clausen, I believe is his last name. He opened up a place in Pisgah Forest, North Carolina, called Pisgah Moto Adventures, and David rents motorcycles. Most of them are adventure touring bikes. He's got some V-Stroms. He's got BMW GS 800s. He does have one Harley down there. One he calls it the dark side. So he's got a little cruiser. But most of what he does is more adventure touring bikes. So go down and check that out, or look up his website. He's on Facebook, Pisgah Moto Adventures, and real reasonable rates. He puts together rides, and he's very much into the motorcycle community in this area, and he's plugged in with several riding groups, so he can help you if you're coming in this area and you're looking for some people to ride with, or you're looking for maps. He's got all kinds of maps of different rides. He sells maps down there.
And they're waterproof.
That someone else, they're waterproof maps that one of my other buddies is on my Facebook friends list, Wayne. He makes they're oh crap, I'm on
America's Ride.
Yeah, America Rides tour maps. Yeah, and they're very, very good. You can find those online. Wayne is on Facebook. I can't remember his last name right off the top of my head. I want to say it's Bush or something like that. But
if you just go to America Rides Maps, I think he's got a page.
Right. So you can find him pretty easily. If you're into motorcycles at all, and especially doing any kind of touring, whether it be on-road or off-road, you've probably heard of him. He's got a pretty strong following, and he does a great job on his maps. So Pisgah Moto Adventures carries those maps down there at their store. And you can rent just about everything you need. You can get, I think everything you need. You can get panniers for the bike that you rent. You can rent your helmet, your riding gear, tank bags. I mean, just a whole slew of things that he has down there. So, I mean, you're not just going down there to rent a motorcycle. You're getting suited up for your ride. So go check that out.
Did Clint remember to take his phone with him?
Yeah. This is where the waterfall is. There's a little waterfall right. I don't know if you can see it, but turn my head far enough back in yonder. And maybe you can see it in my mirror. Anyway, not a real big one. It dumps into a little pool there at the bottom. In the wintertime, you get a little bit better view of it. Up here in this climate, you can ride 12 months out of the year. There's only, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks at the most. Combined, you know, with all the coldest days we have, that really too cold for me anyway. It gets down.
Well, we've had some mild winters.
Gets down below 30, and I don't care much to ride. I just don't like to take the chance of freezing precipitation on the roads. And even if it's nice when you start out, by the time you get back home, it can be frozen, and that's a mess to be on a motorcycle and be on something frozen. And just in case you're curious, if you keep up with Continental Divides and that kind of thing, we are east of the eastern Continental Divide. So any water on this side of the state flows into the Atlantic Ocean. If you take 215 back in toward Rosman, you cross Continental Divide. I'm sorry, 178 back into Rosman, cross Continental Divide, and of course the waters there flow all the way down into the Mississippi, into the Gulf. we are just about out of here. Made it out a lot easier than I thought. I first started in here. I was telling her how rough the road is and how rough it was last time I was up here. And sure enough, it was rough going in. But for whatever reason, I guess maybe I'm used to it now. So I don't come up here every day. I get up here maybe not even once a month, really. So a little tense in the beginning, starting out on this ride, with especially being 2 up. But a lot more relaxed right now. There's not many people when the groups we ride with that ride 2 up, so I've had to get good at that. Although my wife has her own bike, she's got a Honda Rebel 250, her first bike. And my first V-Strom, I traded it for that for her, and she's learning it, she's riding it, she's doing really well at it. And when she gets a little bit more confident, I think she's going to be ready to move into something a little more powerful, and maybe even getting Suzuki's introduced a 250 V-Strom in Europe, and it's probably going to come here, so it might be something to consider. Or maybe even a 650 by the time she's ready to trade up. But seems like our whole family kind of likes the V-Stroms. My son, the youngest son, 13-year-old, I was noticing on his computer screen the other day on his login, his wallpaper is a V-Strom. So it's kind of, it's about the same year model as mine. Of course, the newer ones have changed the looks of it considerably, and I kind of like them. I've taken test drives on them. They're a much smoother riding bike than this one is. They don't lug as much. But, I've never thought the V-Stroms were that particularly good-looking bike, that attractive. But the ride and the price certainly makes them attractive. And after riding one for a while, I like the looks have grown on me. So I really like my V-Strom. You may be wondering about all the weaving I'm doing, mostly just to avoid the biggest potholes. I don't always manage to do that, but I try when I can, when I see them coming.
My butt thinks.
Yeah, my neck and my back thinks me too.
Oh, yeah. My neck's bothering me a little bit.
We hit one on the way in. I think about gave us both whiplash. We hit it so hard.
Well, like I said, I braced where I stood up, but it hit so hard it knocked me down quicker than I was meaning to go down.
That snapped my neck back pretty good.
Well, fortunately, it didn't do that to me. That one time it brought me in, snapped my back when you hit a hard one.
Now I've gotten a little more confident in riding off-road, even if I am a little nervous the first time I get on, dirt road with you. Again, the thing that's concerning me is the weight, the extra weight. And I know the suspension can't travel as far. And I don't really care to, we met so much traffic on the way in, I don't really care to meet a lot of traffic on this road. Maybe that strap come down and hit the power button. I don't know. All right, so we made it down almost all the way down Horseback River Road from Jumping Off Rock, and we're sitting in the parking lot at the beginning of the road. Well, not the very beginning. It's still a little ways to go to get back to the 178. I don't know why my GoPros are doing what they're doing. This one shut completely off, and it has plenty of battery. As a matter of fact, I'm running a little battery pack to make sure it has extra juice. So we lost the last maybe minute of the ride, but it's okay. Must not have my kickstand. There we go. I got to make sure your kickstand's up before you put it in gear. So we're going to go down here to the end of the road, take a left on 178, and head back up a really nice motorcycle road, 178, back toward Rosman. And so you guys can kind of see a little bit of that ride. And we didn't see any wild game like I thought we wouldn't. It's a shame. I'd love to have that on camera. But, you know, things don't always cooperate, and it's not something I usually see up here anyway, but I was hoping against hope. I'm going to have to do a video going up Great Smoky Mountain Highway and show all the wildlife up through there sometime, and do some Cades Cove video. I've done some. I need to do some more. Probably go back there in the fall before the leaves change color too much. There'll be a bunch of leaf lookers over there, and you won't be able to stir them with a stick, or just wait until winter. The leaves are gone, but I don't know how late in the year Cades Cove actually stays open. We like to go over there. When I say we, me and my boys like to go over there and camp. Need to get my wife over there with us sometime. We've got a new tent we picked up this year that'll sleep all of us very easily. Picked up 3 cots. I need to pick up 1 more, so we're not sleeping on the ground, which is nice. Okay, so this is 178, and heading toward Rosman.